Yo, what is up, everybody? Popo here bringing you guys a new video. And today we're going to be looking at some Regulation I teams. Yes, Regulation I was announced, and it was exactly what I thought it was going to be and have been talking about, which is double restricted. I want to reiterate what my idea is that they're going to be doing. This is going to be until the World Championships. It actually ends in August, at the end of August. So who knows about after that, but I think next Worlds is going to be on Champions, so that's going to be pretty exciting, especially because they're probably going to be, allowing the Gen 6 mons. Will it be only Megas? Will we have Megas and Terrestrialization in the same format? Who knows? Who knows? I'm here for it, though. I just want more information. But today we're going to look at some teams and some of these grassroots tournaments that have been doing pretty well. I played some on Showdown last night, so I have seen a few of the teams that are going and things that are pretty decent, and a lot of them aren't surprising to me. I think one of the best Pokemon in the format is Zamazenta, and if you go back to like my videos when this game first dropped, or my streams if they were still available back when this first dropped, I said Zamazenta is gonna be like one of the best Pokemon in a double restricted format. I didn't think it'd be so good in a single restricted. I thought it'd be decent, but I thought in a double restricted format, this Pokemon's absolutely busted. And we'll talk a little bit about why I think it's so good too. But yeah, let's get right into this. So right here we can see this is 11-0. So this was a pretty big tournament. Going undefeated in a pretty big tournament is like that's pretty impressive. And you could see here we have both Caly-I Shadow Rider and we have Zamazenta. This is a very good pairing. You can see it a few more times down here. All different players as well, all different team compositions. So this is doing very, very well right now. The reason for this is because it gives you a physical attacker. You also have a special attacker, so you're getting, a differentiating between your two restricteds. Also, why Zamazenta is so good is because it has so much utility. It doesn't matter if it gets intimidated, it can still do damage, as well as having that wide guard, which is a huge buff to having on your restricted that's super bulky in the first place. And they cover each other's weaknesses, fighting, then you can switch into your Calyrex to take that fighting attack. So it just has a lot of versatility and viability, and you can just do a lot with it. So it's just a really good combo, and you can see it paired with the fake out users, and then you got Chen Pao just to round it off. You only have one special attacker in this team, which is going to be that Calyrex. So that's pretty good. Like yeah, you can see here, we can see their actual stuff. We got substitute Calyrex, which can make a lot of sense on this team because you do have so much fake out, you're able to get behind it. We have Psychic, so you can have that single target too. Because there are a lot of Zamazenta, so you do have to be careful. So if you are building a team, just keep in mind you should have some single target damage on your restricted Pokemon, because you don't want to be wide guarded into Oblivion, right? It doesn't matter what their other Pokemon is, even if it's doing like 20 damage every single time. If they have wide guard, they can just shut you out of doing everything. Oops, hit the wrong button there. So we go down, and yeah, we're just seeing Zamazentas everywhere. We also see this team here. This is a pretty interesting one. Not something I have seen, but this is like the Luca team that won Worlds, except you're getting rid of the Farigiraf and you're actually adding Calyrex Shadow Rider. So I have seen some variations of this team, and usually they're dropping Farigiraf, and it's not for Calyrex Shadow Rider. It's actually for Calyrex Ice Rider. It gives it a lot of range, and it's going for Trick Rooms, and then you can have your Iron Hands. Of course, this one also has Incineroar, so it is a little bit different, but yeah, basically you do have just a lot of pressure while Trick Room is up, and you can go for that. And then when Trick Room ends, it also, because you are running Miraidon, you do set up that terrain, which means that your Calyrex can't be put to sleep now. So that is a huge buff, because Amoonguss has gotten better with this new format, because it could just put things to sleep. It could take hits. It can redirect. So it's just a really good Pokemon in this format. So you make sure you have something that can deal with Amoonguss too. It's very important. Yeah, we're just seeing a lot of like Rillabooms and Incineroars. Kyogre is going to be a lot better too. Kyogre plus Zamazenta is a very, very strong team, something you have to be very worried about. I faced 3 of them, and I think I lost all 3. Maybe I won 1 of them, but like the team is just so strong. It just has so much utility, so you do have to be very, very careful for that. We see some Koraidons. Koraidon, I think, is okay. I don't think it's gotten that much better, though now you can switch out and do some other stuff. I think it pairs really well with a couple of Pokemon. Sorry, I got a little fly here. It's annoying me. It pairs pretty well with a couple of Pokemon. One being Zamazenta. Once again, Zamazenta is just so good. It also pairs pretty well with Ice Rider because you can, go for the fast mode and the slow mode. Same with anything else. I saw a couple of those, but I think it also pairs really well with the Lunala. And this is a team that's similar to what won Worlds in 2019, whereas you're going to have Lunala, you can have a little bit of a slower team, and then you pair that with a Sunsetter, and now you have Pokemon that get boosted by the sun that can take advantage of that. Now, this team specifically, I don't know if this is the one, just because of the fact that it has like so much weakness to Fairy that it could be a little bit rough. But something similar to this, or something that starts evolving on this, could be pretty good. We can also see a lot of Groudon plus the Lunala taking from that 2019 Worlds. Of course, you don't have as good of a version of the team, right? You don't have Primal Groudon, but what you do have is you still have a very strong attacker and some a utility Pokemon, and this is something that we're getting with Zamazenta now. We just have that extra little oomph. Zamazenta wasn't good despite the utility back in Sword and Shield because it didn't have Body Press. So that's why it was never really used, because you had to use Close Combat. It just didn't feel good because your Close Combat, you get rid of your defense boost. It kind of counterintuitive. So now you don't have to do that. You can go for the Body Press. Still has the utility. Heavy Slam also knocks out quite a few Pokemon. It's really good into Shadow Rider. So you can do a lot with it. So yeah, we could just see a bunch of these Shadow Rider teams. Yeah, this one's not double restricted. This one's not double restricted. I have been seeing some Zacian, and I still don't think Zacian's that good. I saw Double Dog, which was really cool. I think it's a concept that can be worked on, and they both get Howl, I'm pretty sure. But this one used coaching on Zamazenta onto Zacian. Didn't really work out for them, but at the same time, it does put a lot of offensive pressure, and it allows you to get through Incineroars, which is really, really nice. Of course, you have to run the Sacred Sword if you're going to do this strat, because you need something to hit Incineroar, or else you're going to be kind of screwed if they can get rid of your Zamazenta. But yeah, it could do a ton of damage, but I just don't think it's super reliable. I think Zacian is just... His days have passed. His days have passed. That's the way to put it, I guess. His days are no longer here. But yeah, we could see a couple of teams here that are using the Zacian that did very, very well, 8-0. I mean, it still does have viability. I just think it is dropped off pretty significantly. I think Ditto is very, very good too. You can use a team that doesn't have Zamazenta and use Ditto to get yourself a Zamazenta. Ghost Terror might be the pick for these teams rather than the normal Terror that you normally would use for the Caly-I Shadow Rider matchups. Though that's something you can still do 100%. Go with Ditto, turn into Calyrex, and then get off these Astral Barrages as a normal Terror so you can't be hit by them back. Though a lot of the Shadow Riders are running that Psychic now more than any other, so they will be able to hit you more than likely. And if they read you and they already have a boost, then it's just a one-shot. So you got to be very, very careful. Yeah, so we just see some more Zamazentas, We see some more Zacians here. You can see this is, what Pokemon did this drop? Why am I blanking on what Pokemon it dropped for this? Because it's... I can't think of the Pokemon it dropped for this, but... yeah, you can see the Carabelli team. My brain is non-functioning. I didn't fall asleep until like almost 1 o'clock last night, and was up at like 7:30. So my brain's a little mush. These big stall teams can be back. This was already a brutal team minus the Miraidon. So now having the Miraidon, Like this could be a very, very brutal team with 2 different end games. You can go for the end game with Dondozo, or you can go for the end game with Miraidon plus Iron Hand. So you're going to have to be very, very careful against these teams and make sure you have something that can deal with both Dondozo and Miraidon, which is basically nothing. So if you get a player who's very good at playing this kind of team, they're gonna be like super, super difficult to beat. So be very, very careful about that. And this Miraidon could be something else, but I think Miraidon's probably one of the better choices for this. It stops you from being able to put to sleep and stuff like that, which Dondozo does have to deal with. You can also go for Iron Hands plus Miraidon and then bring the Dozo in the back for certain matchups. So there's a lot you could do. This team down here, because we're just seeing more of the same, right? We're just seeing more of the same. This team, it's Urshifu that got dropped. That's what it was. Urshifu got dropped. I don't think dropping Urshifu is good. I think you drop the Farigiraf always. Like they drop the Farigiraf because you're getting a Pokemon that can't be faked out anyways. So I think it's fine. But this team, no, take this off and put on Caly-I's Ice Rider, and this is a team very similar to what we saw back in Sword and Shield with the Palkia plus the Shadow or the Ice Rider, and you just had a lot of support. Now it's a little bit upgraded because you do get the Ursaluna. You can, like, this one's using Ogerpon, but I also saw Ditto here over on Showdown. So there's quite a few things you can do with this. The only thing I don't like is Palkia. Palkia is very bad against Ogerpon, and it's kind of crazy how bad it is against Ogerpon, especially Rock Ogerpon. Just like Ivy Cudgel does more than 50% to this Pokemon, and it just feels really, really bad for them because that's what I was doing. I was just Ivy Cudgeling into this, and it would just go down 2 shots, and it's slower, and it just doesn't do enough. So, yeah. So yeah, the Miraidon plus Kyogre I think is going to be a good team. This is another team that I slated back in the day that was going to be very good when Double Stricteds came out. I think it's still going to be pretty good, especially if you have that Ditto Surprise. They go for Trick Room. You can bring it out against Caly-I's Ice Rider or something like that. You can get a ton of value, so pretty good, pretty good. I think dropping Farigiraf is probably the play from a lot of teams, because Restricteds, there's not too many that have any priority moves. I mean, there's like Rayquaza. I'm trying to think of any other ones, right? It's basically just Rayquaza. So, like, 2 of your opponent's Pokemon are never going to have anything. Not that Farigiraf can't be useful. I just think it's lost a lot of that viability. Zamazenta plus Ice Rider, I don't think is that great. And the reason why I don't think it's that great is because you're having 2 offensive forces. I did try one, by the way. I did try Zamazenta plus Ice Rider. And you just have 2, physical Pokemon, and it's really, really bad into full Zamazenta teams, especially if you want to get Trick Room up and do all that kind of stuff. If they can get their Zamazenta set up first and ready to go, then you're just having a hard time knocking them out. Especially this, like, it just doesn't do good into the Kyogre team. I guess you do have the Amoonguss, which could do something, but overall, it just doesn't do anything into the Kyogre team, and it just loses to the team with Kyogre, Zamazenta, Amoonguss. Like, it just can't beat that core. Like, it just can't beat that core. It's just too strong for that team. We have Double Weather here. Double Weather is very difficult to use. So use this at your own risk because, yeah. All right, sorry about that. My mom was calling, so had to answer that, of course. Yeah, so I think we were right here. Kyogre, Groudon, like Double Weather, super, super hard to play. And then there's this team here, Miraidon plus Groudon. This is a very interesting team, but I don't know, it seems very weak to ground. I don't really know how I feel about this. Yeah, Fire Terra, so you're just more weak to ground. I don't know. I mean, obviously it worked for them, right? But I just really, really don't. Like, Gastron just feels kind of meh. I don't know. I guess I'd have to see it in action. This team seems pretty brutal. Once again, you have the Calyrex plus the Zamazenta. That's doing a ton there. You have the Groudon. Here we go. This is more standard here that I would expect to see. Maybe not with the Indeedee though, but I guess Indeedee does make sense. We got Indeedee and Ogerpon. Ogerpon can take advantage of that drought. We actually have Assault Vest and Power Herb. So those do make a lot of sense with Expanding Force, Moongeist Beam. I mean, Lunala seems very, very good, and like it's slated in a very good position. This has a Mega Charizard, so whatever's going on there is going on there. Yeah, I don't know what this is either. All right, so yeah, we just continue to see some of the same ones. Here we go. This is more what I'm talking about, though. Maybe not with the Farigiraf. Maybe the Farigiraf goes back into Ogerpon. I think this is like an extremely good team. I did face a couple of this exact team on Showdown. These guys played in the same tour, so maybe people were just ripping it from that tour. I don't know if it's the exact team, but I had these Pokemon because they would always lead against me with the Urshifu and the Miraidon, and then they would go out into this when I set up Trick Room, and then they had Iron Hands in the back. So, yeah. This has camera, but that's not even double restricted. So yeah, we're starting to get into like the 6 and 3s, you know, the mid places and stuff like that. I don't even know what this is, but I guess, I mean, I guess you can use, maybe, hold on. I guess Wheezing with Rayquaza is not bad. I guess if you dropped Miraidon for Caly-I Shadow Rider, this could be something, I think. This could be definitely something. I just don't know how good Volcarona is going to be now that there's a lot more stronger Pokemon. I guess we'll have to see. Because it's good right now in Regulation G, right? It's pretty good, but I don't think going forward it's going to be that great, but who knows? Will we see a rise of Ogerpon Wellspring again? Maybe, because there is going to be a lot of Kyogres, right? So, I mean, it's definitely possible that we start seeing it more. This team, this is something. What is this? What is this? Does this have Lightning Rod? Yeah, this has Lightning Rod, but you also have Electro Drift, so you have to be very careful. This is Life Orb, Miraidon. We got Mystic Water, Standard, Dondozo. This is the attack one, right? This is attack one. Loaded Dice Ogerpon, okay. And Pikachu. Sure. I mean, it worked out for them, right? What did they do? The 6 and 2? That's not bad. What did they beat? Okay, they lost to this. And they lost to that. Yeah, that makes sense. But they beat Terapagos. How are they beating Terapagos? I guess Dondozo's good in Terapagos. That's another one we're not actually seeing here. It's Terapagos. And I think it's definitely a Pokemon. That we have to make sure we are accounting for, because it is still pretty good. Yeah, here we go. This is actually the first one we've seen. I think the most annoying team that you could possibly face, and it might not be very good, like it might still be like very, very beatable, but is Caly-I Shadow Rider and Terapagos. I guess Lunala plays that same role as the Shadow Rider, where you can just, like, there's not really a great switch right now from going from the Terapagos into something that resists fighting. Now you have the Shadow Rider. So you can definitely switch those. It's going to be kind of crazy. I'm interested to see how well it does, but I just don't think it's going to be that good overall. Yeah, Calm Mind. Oh, Clear Amulet. That's different. I know it's been used before, but... Oh no, Clear Amulet hasn't been... Why are you using Clear Amulet? For Icy Wind? I was thinking of Covert Cloak. Not Clear Amulet. Covert Cloak has been used quite a bit. Hey, it worked, right? It went 5 and 3. That's not bad. That's not a bad record. So yeah, we could just start seeing more and more of kind of the same, with different elements and pieces kind of moved around. Once again, I don't know if you drop the Urshifu. I think maybe you drop the Farigiraf here. I don't know. I guess it's really a call, right? I don't know. There's a lot of A lot of the same going on, and then there's some interesting like tournaments happening in this world. Like this is oh yeah, we saw this one earlier. But yeah, there's some interesting tournaments. A lot of 5-1s here that aren't even double restricted. Caly-I plus Groudon, that was used a little bit back in Sword and Shield, though I don't know if it ever placed super well. It ended up being Caly-I plus Yveltal that ended up being much better, but of course we don't have him, so we have an origin form here. What is this team? This is quite the team. Ho-Oh plus, you know what? That could cook, bro. One of the problems with Ho-Oh is that he just doesn't do enough damage, right? So making him do more damage. But yeah, I just kind of wanted to go over this list and just kind of see what people are doing. We see a lot of the same up at the top, so just start being worried about some of these teams. Zamazenta, have something on your team to deal with Zamazenta. They're going for the Dragon Terror most of the time. You want to make sure you have like a ground attack to hit into it, plus you want to have something like a fairy or a dragon move to hit into it. So if you can get that on one Pokemon, or if you can get that on a couple of Pokemon, that's probably going to be your way through. A lot of them are running Iron Defense again, so you do have to be careful about that. I don't know if any of these ones are running Iron Defense. It does not look like it. We could start seeing some more of the Behemoth Bash as well. This one is running Iron Defense, so like you do have to be very careful for these, especially next to Clefairy. It would be super annoying. You just never be able to get it off the field. Yeah. Run Landorus, I guess, is probably the best decision you can do. Earth Power basically one-shots it, I think. And if you run Kyogre, then you can use Sandseer Storm, no problem. So yeah, there's quite a few options you have there. But yeah, that's it for me. What do you guys think of this format? I guess a little bit excited for it. Double restricted is what it is. I'm just excited for some more Pokemon Champions news, and until we get that, I'm gonna be a sad boy. But anyways, guys, that is it for me. If you guys enjoyed this video, make sure you guys thumbs up. If you're not subscribed, make sure you guys do so, and I'll see you guys on the next one. Bye, everybody.